I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. So I'm just happy that you finally made it to come to Kenya. Most of our brothers and sisters from the diaspora, they always have the
Mhm.
dream of coming to Africa, but due to some financial factors, maybe they might not have made it to Africa. And
Understand? Yeah,
yeah, I thank you so much for coming to our country, Kenya. So, what fascinated you to
absolutely.
come to our country, Kenya?
Well, two factors. I my wife, she's from Kenya, so she's one of the main
Oh,
reasons why I came is to meet her. And um, secondly, I wanted to leave United States, but I wanted to go somewhere predominantly black. So I was looking at Africa for sure. So to come, I was looking at Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, and oh my God, what's the other one? What's the other one? I think it was Zambia.
Okay, I kind of lost you. I don't know, it's your network or something.
Uh, oh, I'm good.
Oh, let me check. Maybe it's mine. Okay. You able to hear what I'm saying right now?
Oh, we was talking about the reason we're coming here, and
Sure,
my
sure, sure.
wife, and I wanted to move somewhere predominantly black. So those are my big two reasons of coming to Kenya.
That's great. That's great. And I'm happy for you, bro, for choosing our country. And I'm happy that you also you are able to get our sister.
I
And
appreciate it.
it's a good thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good thing seeing brothers from the diaspora at least coming and exploring life in Africa and maybe also getting to know what our African women. It's a good thing. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so I think I got a couple of questions that I think I wanna ask you, and it will be more of a conversation, so we'll be engaging.
Okay.
I'll maybe saying something, but most of the part you'll be giving me information because you are the one who has been to the United States and you transitioned to Africa, so you have both experiences, and you also said that you stayed in
Say
Kenya
that.
for around.
Say the last. The middle part. What you're saying again? Because it's like cutting in and out.
Uh,
The sound.
like I'm saying, can you hear me right now?
I can hear you, but it's like when you was talking, it was going in and out.
Oh, maybe let me try put some earphones, then see if it's still the same.
Okay. Oh, you saying something?
I think it's not working with the earphones. I'll just talk.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
if
Let
it's
me.
my network. Okay. Because on my side I can hear you so clearly.
I can. Hold on. Maybe try this. All right. I turned off my Wi-Fi, so let's see if this works.
Okay, okay.
Okay. I'm ready to start.
Okay, it's okay. So like I was saying, it's something which it's so beautiful to see our brothers and sisters from the diaspora who can us in Africa, which it's a good thing because you need to experience. And as I've always said, we are happy for you to come into your motherland. I know this is something which
Okay. It's,
partly,
it's doing it again. You was talking, it was skipping.
oh, oh,
So
oh. So like
Yeah.
I was saying, yeah, it's a pleasure to always come. So I will ask
Okay.
you this question. Um, what factors or experiences do you believe contribute some Black Americans considering leaving the United States?
First question. So
Most of the African Americans come to Africa. What
okay,
factors? What are the pressing factors?
pressing factors. Okay. So it's hard to explain. I can talk about where I come from and the guys that I've seen grow up with me, and what happened, and people I've met that's black and what happened to them. So for us, um, well, let's just start with this. The reason why we're leaving America is because one, everything is really expensive. Everything's really expensive. You have to, in a sense, earn a lot just to survive for the most part.
Mm,
So there's one. That's one. Two, um, courting. Dealing with women over there is completely different than dealing with women overseas. You know what I'm saying? Um,
ah,
let's see. I believe also there is, how can I explain it, much more freedom if you have the money to go to another place and you have United States currency or you have European currency or any currency. That value, the value is really really high somewhere else. So being able to if you can do that, obviously you take that road because it's much easier and less stressful to live that way than to stay in your country and the money you making just makes you average and your probably it's hard to pay bills every day. But let's also talk about racism because there is that. Uh,
exactly.
for example, I got pulled over, or actually, I got when I was 14. I was walking from school, and I got pulled over to look for the describing or fitting the description of a 30-year-old man somehow, and I got a Spider-Man backpack on. So just because I'm black, had an afro, whatever the case may be, the cop immediately pulled me over, and I'm just a 14-year-old kid walking to school. I got more stories, but just for example, racism, um,
Yeah.
and I think also just being able to be free, because in a place in a society where you're constantly working, but you're not gaining nowhere, you can't take a vacation,
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah.
you got all these expenses, but you can't have time to yourself. You just feel like a working slave. So and you work in a job that you really don't want to do, you don't love. So that helps to want to leave that job, leave that place. So things like that that contribute to not just black people, other than the racism part, but a lot of people who want to leave because of that. Those things for sure.
Yeah. So, brother, I'm really sorry for the experiences that you
So good.
had
It's all
in the
right.
United States. And I always feel sad hearing my brothers and sisters from the diaspora always talking about these things.
Mm,
And I know it's so depressing. And most of people in the United States have, the traumas of, the systemic racism and everything which is happening there
hmm
daily. So what I'll just say that you made a good point, and you had all the reasons to leave the United States to come to Africa, because you see in Africa we have that freedom that which you're talking about.
mm,
It's a place where you are able to work and say that, oh, today I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just gonna get with my wife somewhere else and
okay.
have fun. And because I do believe that in the United States you work, and after working,
hmm
sometimes they call it debt money, because you work and then after working bills are everywhere. At the end of it,
Exactly.
you're left with nothing. So I do believe that it's you are a big reason coming back to Africa, and it totally makes sense. And
Mm.
you also raised an important issue, something to do with dealing with women in the United States. I think it's different with
Yeah.
dealing with diaspora African American men, saying that they prefer African women as compared to the United States women. So
Be-
maybe I would like you to clarify on that part.
so all right. I got lucky. Apparently, I got lucky. The woman that I met, she's a lawyer. I think that's what it is.
Ah,
So
yeah.
I got lucky. Apparently, that's what everybody been telling me. I got lucky. But to answer your question, uh, African women. Now, not all of them the same. Different tribes, but majority. The biggest thing, especially in the West, the biggest thing in the West is not just finding a woman, not just finding a girlfriend, not just finding a partner, but finding a wife.
Yeah,
That's like a lot of us guys, we really just want to find a wife, and a lot of us guys become quote unquote players when we get our heart broken. You know what I'm saying? When we get our heart broken, we like, all right, F it. I'm gonna just
yeah,
go ahead and but majority of us guys just want a wife, and it's really hard to find in the West, because a lot of things become so modernized. Women can do bad all by themselves, independent. They don't need a man. Once a woman say they don't need a man, literally a man has no purpose. Because when we go to work, we working to provide. So when we have a family, we can provide for them. We're working to make sure to better ourselves, to earn money. So when we have a family, they can do that. If a woman saying they independent, what's the point? It was, work for yourself. But a lot of us guys still want to be married, so they jump overseas, and African women. Not only that, black attracts black. We black do want black. We want you know, but
yeah,
tradition. Y'all have tradition, and y'all stick to y'all morals and y'all values. The vast
yeah,
majority of you can't say that with a lot of different other people and countries and stuff. Y'all stick to y'all values, your traditions. Um, and I think that's a big thing, because that let us know that you're not gonna change up on me. You're not gonna switch up. You're not gonna just up and take my money and leave. You're gonna
yeah.
most of the African women are ride or die if you treat them right. So um,
Yeah, true, true.
that's why I think a lot of guys from America come into Africa to find an African queen. And you know what? To me, my mom always told me, if you get married, make sure she's your color. Make sure she's black. I don't care who you date, but when when you get married, make sure it's the skin color. So
Yeah, she's of color. Yeah,
um, maybe some other black guys, mama's telling them that too. So that's what I believe the reasons are.
I totally agree with you. Most of the things that you've said, because yeah, it's totally true. And in case you're watching this video, wherever you are, and you can share with us what you think, or you can also ask questions down on the chat box below. So it's always been an issue because we have African American women complaining that their men are leaving them, coming back to Africa. It has always been an issue, and it's an aspect which has led to diaspora wars, because I think this is something which is common in Nigeria, where Nigerian men are so now this is now opposite. Nigerian African American women are seeing Nigerian men.
Hmm.
Now we have African American men coming to Africa. I know you see specifically you are in East Africa, but that's not a topic of today. Um,
Okay.
I think you just made the right decision to come to Africa, and I'll say that you are one of the luckiest people. In fact, from the tribe that you've gotten, actually you are lucky. You see, Luya women are so man. They are ride or die, bro. They are ride or die. Luya women, hands down.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I've been hearing
Yeah, yeah,
stories about Kuyus, Kumbas. I've been hearing stories.
yeah,
I heard they were good.
yeah. And you know what? With Luya women, you gotta cook for them ugali. Do you know ugali?
What?
Flour. I mean the maize flour, and
Yeah, yeah, I know what
a
you're talking
big
about.
guy
Yeah.
there. Exactly. So
Oh no.
someone is asking a question on the Fred from Africa. He's also a content
Oh,
creator. So he's
what
asking
aspects?
what
Let's see.
as
What-
since relocating to Kenya and
Oh, okay. I see. You asking me. I guess you asking my heritage and what I found out, and then how's the influence and his sense of belonging connected. Okay, so I haven't done research on my blood like that. I haven't. My mom has though, and I know for sure the largest part of her DNA is Nigerian, uh, Egyptian or Egypt, and Indian, native uh, Cherokee Indian for the most part, and then
ah,
obviously Eastern European because of slavery and whatnot. But Nigerian is what stuck out to me because it had the biggest portion of the DNA. That now that didn't shape my mindset to go to Nigeria. I had to do some research too. You know, like I'm not saying I wouldn't like to visit Nigeria, but I prefer Kenya for sure over Nigeria. You know, just to be my honest opinion. Um, let me see. Uh, environment. So, looking at what I need to look at, Kenya had the best power. Um, I I think when it comes to opportunities, there's opportunities everywhere, but Kenya, how I say Kenya's out of the countries in Africa, Kenya is rising. You know, top two, top three countries for sure in Africa. Um, and also my wife. So that's what shaped my environment to come to Kenya for sure. If it wasn't Kenya, it probably would have been Ghana. But I'm glad I chose Kenya because I haven't been to the West Coast or West Africa like that. But personally, as far as what I've seen and what I've heard from other people, East Africa is better than West Africa. So,
yeah, true. I
um,
was to tell you this thing, brother, a little
hmm,
bit. The moment I saw you, you were talking about something to do with DNA, and which portion of your part would have traced back to where you originally came from. And bro, you
hmm.
look like an Nigerian from Igbo. I don't know if I'm wrong, but you totally Nigerian.
Listen, listen. I get that all the time. Like, it's it's just bad. If I don't speak, people automatically assume I'm Nigerian. Nigerians come up and talk to me thinking I'm Nigerian. You know, so I understand. Trust me, I understand.
Yeah, I also saw that, and you look like do you know Rick Ross?
Do what?
Rick Ross the boss. Rick Ross the boss.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, he also identifies with Nigeria.
Does he?
Yeah. He
Wow,
identifies with Nigeria.
I didn't know that.
So
I didn't.
yeah,
Okay, he's dark for a Nigerian for sure. Tell you that much.
yeah. So I think the brother has asked an important question, which also
Hmm.
was one of the part of the question that I was to ask you. So I'll ask you again this pressing question. How do systemic issues historically challenge or social dynamics impact perspectives of Black Americans regarding to think dealing with
Systemic issues, man. Oh, it paused for a second. So say that one more time. You talking about systemic issues, right?
I was saying this. I was saying there is a time that I heard African Americans or Black Americans that their water which they're taking was being poisoned. They're
Hmm.
taking foods which are being poisoned, and the community is not safe for the black people. I don't know. It's like they want to wipe away people from the black community or something because
Oh,
I've been hearing these stories.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
They've been trying to kill us off for the longest. I mean, obviously with slavery and stuff like that, they used us for work they could never do because white people can't stand the sun. If they do, they stay in the sun, they're gonna die. So,
Yeah.
but there's actually I forgot the woman name, but there's actually a recording of a woman speaking, saying how they want to establish to make sure there's no father in the homes, in African American homes. They don't want no fathers there to raise a household, to raise a strong household. They want the mother to raise, and then two, they instated birth control to try to limit the amount of. That's what birth control is for us black people in America. Try to lower our birth rate because they didn't want us to outbirth the whites, and on top of that, to because when black people, uh, a black man or a black woman lay down with any other race, that child comes out what black. So
Yeah.
try to try to dwindle, take the man out, make the woman a household, and then make sure that they take birth control and um abortions and stuff like that. That's stuff right there is to try to get rid of us. Black people in America have the highest abortion rate,
Damn.
and we have the least amount of population in America. We're only like 11% of the population of America. We're not a lot. There's not a lot of us. So
That.
and then on top of that, prisons. Black people usually get a longer sentence than anybody else for the same crime. So you got prisons filled to the brim with, like I said, 11, 12% of the population of black people is mostly of them are in the prison. There's
Damn.
more people, more black people in prison than walking around outside for a reason. That's for a reason. So, um, systemic racism, man. Oh man, please don't get me started on that, dog. Don't get me
It's real.
started on that, bro.
It's real. It's real.
um, so okay, for example, workplaces. I'm not saying they can't be successful black men in workplaces. Absolutely, but when you work for a nation that's predominantly white, obviously the people who gonna get the best jobs, the best opportunities, and don't have to work as hard as a minority is gonna be the whites. Um, I've dealt with some work racism. I was in the army. I went when I was 19, and I got out when I was 24. Um,
How?
they you have to, just like in real life, you have to perform really well. You have to be like an exceptional talent. The talent can't be denied. That's the guys, that's the black people they'll put on the pedestal and try to, what I'm saying, because your entertainment value or whatever is really, really good. So that's how they look to make money from you. But just regular average day black guys, the average the white guy, they'll choose the average day white guy or then over the average day black guy easily. I've seen that in the army. I've seen a couple other things, but that shit's real, man. Over here, that shit's real.
That's so sad, man. That's so sad. My prayer is I always wanted African Americans or Black Americans. Hello, can you hear me, brother?
Oh, you say you always wanted them to do what?
Can you hear me now?
I didn't hear that last part. You said you wanted African Americans.
Yeah, like I was saying that hearing your experiences in the United States and it's so dehumanizing, it's so sad, it's so terrorizing, it's so depressing,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. And you living, coping up in a society where you know that people don't want you. Living in a society where you know that you are amongst the minority group. You're living in a society where you know you have to work for people so that and you have always been told that your ancestors also worked in the United States. You know, that's something which is so devastating, and
Yeah.
it's so sad. And even me
Yeah.
as a black person in Africa, I
Hmm.
really feel sad. You know, I really feel sad. How the PTSD that people, the black people in the United States go through, and even in schools, the cases of racism that you normally hear people talking about, and it's so sad. That's
Exactly.
why I normally urge my viewers, if they can find time, or if they can find some little cash they can save, they can choose an African country which they
Hmm.
can come to, at least to find solace, you know, just the way you
Absolutely.
did. Absolutely. Yeah,
I,
it's
if I can
if I can
advise
advise
any
any
Black Americans
black
that want to
Americans that
leave
wants
the
to
United
leave
States,
the United States,
obviously I can't choose your
obviously I
country
can't
for
choose
you,
your country for you,
but
but
preferably
preferably
come be around your own
be
kind
around
so
your
you
own
don't get
kind
looked
so
at
you don't get
weird.
looked
You
at
know,
weird. You know,
yes,
yes,
depending on
depending on
uh your blood type or
blood
bloodline or
type or
whatever,
bloodline or whatever,
you might not
you might
look
not
a
look
certain African, you
a
might look
certain
more
African, you might
American,
look
but
more
whatever.
American, but whatever.
At least when you
At
hear,
least when you hear,
people say welcome.
people say
People say
welcome. People
they're
say
more curious. They
they're
want
more
to know
curious. They want to
more
know
about
more about
how you had to live
how you
over
had to
there
live over
and the
there
things
and
that
the
you
things
had
that
to go
you
through.
had to go
Because
through.
I know a
Because
lot of you
I know a
guys,
lot of you guys,
if you don't have
if you don't have
a reputable
a
source
reputable
or
source or
a really good
a
source,
really good
it's
source,
hard to
it's
understand
hard
what
to
we go through
understand
over
what we
there
go through over there.
if
Yeah.
we don't
You know, we
come out and
don't
tell you
come out and
ourselves.
tell you ourselves.
But
But
yeah, like I
yeah,
advise
like I
Black
advise
people to come over
black people to
here,
come over here,
find a suitable
find a
country
suitable
that
country
suits your
that
taste.
suits your taste.
Um,
Um,
don't come here
don't come
without
here
knowing
without
somebody
knowing somebody
because you don't speak the
because you don't
language.
speak the language.
So
So
it makes no sense
it
for you
makes
to
no
come
sense for you to
somewhere
come
and you
somewhere
don't know
and you
nothing
don't know
about the
nothing
culture,
about the culture,
language, what
language,
they eat,
what they eat,
how they thrive
how
and
they
survive
thrive
out
and
here. It makes
survive
no
out here. It
sense.
makes no
So at least
sense. So at least
do your research.
do your research.
Um,
Yeah, makes sense.
make sure you have your
Make sure
own
you have
money,
your own
meaning
money,
like
meaning like
make sure you have
make
money
sure you have
revenue
money
coming from
revenue coming
outside
from outside
of Africa
of
and bringing it
Africa and
here
bringing it here
because
because
um
um,
the amount of money
the
that
amount
you
of
make
money
here in
that you make here
Africa,
in Africa,
you're first of all you're not used
first of
to
all, you're
it,
not used to it,
and the
and
way y'all have
the
to
way
live
you have to
here.
live here.
So an American
So an
is
American
probably
is
harsher
probably
because we're
harsher
not
because
used
we're
to
not
how your
used to
guys
how
live.
your
So
guys live. So
it's harder to
it's
adapt
harder to adapt
to live your
to live
lifestyle when
your
we're not used
lifestyle
to
when
it.
we're
I mean,
not
so it
used to
makes
it. I
no
mean, so it
sense.
makes no sense.
Um, come here with a
Come here
plan,
with a plan,
whether you're going to open the
whether you're gonna open the
school or
school
invest in
or
something
invest in
or
something
student visa,
student
whatever it
visa,
is. But
whatever it
make
is.
sure you
But
come with
make
a
sure you
plan.
come with
Don't
a
just
plan.
come
Don't just come
if you want to
if
stay.
you want to stay.
Come with a plan.
Come
Don't
with a
just
plan. Don't
lollygag
just
because you can
lollygag
lose
because you
all
can
your
lose all
funds
your funds
in a year. If
in a
whatever you
year. If
saved up,
whatever you
whatever money
saved
you
up,
get,
whatever
you can
money
lose
you
it
get, you
all.
can
It's
lose it
not
all.
like
It's not
it's
like
dirt
it's
poor here or
dirt
dirt
poor here
cheap.
or dirt cheap.
Things can be
Things can
expensive,
be expensive,
especially if you're not spending your
not
right money
spending your
right.
right money right. Exactly.
Um,
Um,
but absolutely, if you come here,
Absolutely.
make
If you
sure
come
you
here,
have
make
money
sure
to
you have
invest,
money to invest,
put back into the
put back
society,
into the
and create
society,
jobs for
create
these
jobs
people,
for these people,
and
and
um,
um,
be humble. Don't
be
come over
humble.
here
Don't come
thinking
over here thinking
that
that
what you did in
what
America is
you
gonna
did in
fly
America
here.
is gonna fly here.
It's not.
It's not.
Like I don't
Like I
understand
don't understand
why people
why people
don't think that
don't
another
think
place
that
is not the
another
same
place
place
is
they
not the
came
same
from.
place
It's
they
not.
came from. It's not.
You know.
You know.
Um, that's my
That's
advice really.
my advice, really.
If people
Yeah.
want to
People
come over here and
want to
live,
come over here and
that's what
live.
they need
That's what they need
to do for sure.
for sure. You've really offered a good advice to our brothers, and it is also in line to some of the things that I've always been telling them on my videos.
Mm,
Because you see, a couple of African Americans, they come to Africa, of course, and you know they got the money and they come to
yeah.
Africa with those money. Yeah. But I don't know sometimes what's wrong, because cases have been reported that most of them return back to the United States when they're broke. And I came to do my research, and I found out that they don't invest just the way you said. Um, they just spend, you know. And I understand the exchange rates favors,
Hmm.
especially a person who comes from the United States to come to Africa. the exchange rates normally favors them because when you got the dollars and currently when you look at the exchange rates of Kenyan shillings, I don't know, around today is 154 Kenyan
Oh,
shillings.
the exchange rate. Okay, I don't remember off the top of my head. Was it like $1 is
Around 150 something Kenyan shillings.
all I know is that when I go to the ATM to pull out 40K, which 20 years ago, which would have been the equivalent of 400 USD.
Mm.
Now, um, I think it was 2 days ago when I pulled out 40K, it came out to be 370 USD. That's not good.
Yeah, yeah,
Not especially for
yeah.
you guys, because
Mm.
I know you guys like your flour, your maize went up, which is crazy. Like I don't know why that went up, but it's harder for you guys to live to make you guys money and make to pay your bills when the money value is dropping. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. So it keeps on
so
depreciating against the dollar, which it affects a lot of people. But then
yeah.
we have to cope up. So back to my point, as I was
Oh
saying, you
yeah.
see, when they come with those dollars and when they exchange those money, they see like it's a lot of money to them. I know
Hmm.
they forget to invest, and okay, few of them invest, yes, and most of them knows what they're coming to do in Africa.
Hmm.
But there's a group, a few, which there are cases where they've returned back to the United States because
Oh.
they went broke, like broke, yeah.
Mm.
Just check online.
All right. I will. I will. I definitely will. Because that's
Yeah,
crazy,
so
man.
yeah, so it's a good thing that you're offering that advice to our brothers to invest. And you talked about something when you have when your money is working in the United States and you can be receiving it in Africa. You are 90% ahead of a lot of people in Africa. You know, when you got your
It.
money in the United States and it's working, it's pumping money to you like directly while living in Africa.
Mm.
It's a good thing. You are 90% ahead of most people inside Kenya or Africa, whatever way you're staying to. Because I
Wow.
think, yeah, it's true. It's true.
Wow.
So just
Yeah.
like you said, it's good to invest, and maybe if you have a business
Absolutely.
in the United States.
I think I was telling or I was talking to an Uber driver because he was telling me he wanted to go to abroad, and I was telling him I understand because here in Africa, not just Kenya, Africa, um, you have to have money to invest or to have shares in something. Um, you have to the only way you make it here is to invest or to work for a government. But we work for a government in Africa, you basically working for the rest of your life. So like,
True that.
um, what maybe a really you have to be like a really 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 high profile lawyer and to do illegal stuff. Like that's the only way you can make money here. Regular day to day jobs, it's hard to not just to earn money, but to pay your bills and to eat. Especially when everybody has families here. Everybody has a household of four here, almost everybody. So trying to do all that is just not going to cut it. So you got to do those three things for sure to even have money in your pocket or have money coming, have income coming from wherever you coming from, and come here with that
Exactly.
and retire with that or something. But other than that, yeah, it's
What you, what you
it's
say
hard out here
makes
for
total
y'all for
sense.
sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I could just wish that most of people knew this because if you have money which is working, because sometimes people are worried that maybe in Kenya we might wake up one day when the country goes to a default. What does it mean?
Okay.
It means that your money in the bank, you won't be able to withdraw it because our currency keeps on depreciating, and it's so sad. And I'll also advise African Americans to maybe save the outside banks, for the advantage
Yeah.
so that when maybe the defaulting is happening, your currency it's not in Kenyan shillings, or you're not saving with the Kenyan
That's
banks,
true.
but outside. Yeah, and I think you talked about it, which is important. Investment in Africa.
Yes.
You know, I normally tell people that the future is in Africa. That's a most of not even African Americans, but even the Europeans are coming to
Yeah.
live in Africa. They're coming to start business in Africa because this is where the future is. And you did a great thing. You know,
Mm,
booking your how will I say it? Placing your mark in Africa, because very soon maybe you'll have kids and you become a
true.
citizen. You know,
True.
yeah, yeah. So the another question that I would like to ask you is,
All right.
in what ways can living in another country provide opportunities or perspectives that might be different from those available in America for black
Okay.
individuals? Bearing the fact that you've stayed in Kenya for around 10 months right now, and maybe
Hmm.
you understand the differences, maybe if not most of it, but a little bit, you understand how money works and how
Yeah.
the job things work in different in United States and also in Africa.
Okay. So the difference. Um, I say okay. When you coming over here, living here, the difference for sure is that as a foreigner, most people expect you to have money because, like, the currency outside of Africa is much more here than vice versa for sure. So they expect you to have money. Um, so that means you can do more than what you normally could do back at your own country if you just have an average wage income. So when you're coming over here, like I said, investing or making or starting your own business, starting your own something is very crucial as a foreigner because your money is more valued here anyways. So that's one of the biggest things. So if you're just a regular worker in America, like you just work for, I don't know, a regular job, 9 to 5, when you come over here, you're expected to run a business in a sense. You're expected to have a business or something. So that's a big difference for sure. Um, Another big difference, driving. Driving is a big difference. I'm not used to y'all shit. I'm not used to y'all driving, dog.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie. I'm not used to
totally
that.
understand.
Um, but it's just different. So not too big of a difference, but it's different though. Um, Another big thing is I would say respect. Like, okay, in America, everybody kind of like respect their privacy and stuff like that. But here, it's everything's a lot more friends and family orientated. I'm not saying we're not friendly and we don't have really close to our families, but here in Africa, if somebody stubbed their toe or cut their finger, everybody knows about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, true, true.
um, having your privacy in America is something that we value because that is how we are. But over here, it's kind of like more orientated with friends and family being around you if you have it. So don't be surprised if you get in a call 3 times a day from your wife's mother or father because they just want to check to see how y'all doing all the time, stuff like that. Another difference. Let's see, another big difference from my experience. Okay, another big difference is just how you guys is weather. Weather's I love it because y'all don't have tornadoes, y'all don't have
Yes.
hurricanes, y'all don't have these things that we have in America, especially where I come from in Florida. So here it's just raining or it's hot. That's it.
Yeah.
And I don't take that for granted. Trust me, I love it. Um, but for me, that's as an American moving here. That's really about That's really about it. And the money and the currency. That's it, really, the currency.
Yeah.
Knowing how to exchange and knowing how to use M-Pesa, Safaricom, and these things, which I give y'all credit. Safaricom and M-Pesa, I think it's a college student who made it.
Yeah, yeah, it's a college student who made it.
Listen, that's it. It's really good. I love it because you can pay with cash if you have
Yeah.
cash, but then you also got these other, Safaricom and the Pesa app, and you can just pay whatever you want.
You don't have
If
to
they
go to
got
the
pay
bank.
bill or whatever, you just pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And did you know that you don't have to go to the bank to exchange your money from
oh,
the USD to
say that
Kenyan
again.
shillings? I'm saying, like, you see today, you don't have to go to the bank to change
Hmm.
your money from the USD to Kenyan shillings. We have
Yes,
those apps. You can easily convert your money to Kenyan shillings, so it's easier for you to
yes.
walk around with your money, especially when
Hmm.
you are from the United States and you have the dollars, and you are confused, when will I go get exchange them, and so we have ways which are making it easier for
Yeah,
people working
absolutely.
from the
And
United States.
yeah, you got ATMs. You can use
Yeah,
debit. You can use debit or Mastercard. So
exactly.
y'all have Western Unions here. So yeah.
And they're really working very well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'll ask you, on a light note, um, do people borrow you money from Africa?
Oh, say it again.
Do, like, people borrow you money, like tipping? Like, do you get people
Oh
like
man,
borrowing?
listen,
On a light note, though.
listen. I know where you go with this. All right. I know. Listen, the security guards once they hear well, two reasons. They think I'm Nigerian, so they ask me for money. But when they hear my accent, they know I'm American, and then they really think I need. They really, hey bro, add me, bro, add me. Like add you. You're working right now. Why would I give you 300 right now while you're working when it's somebody else who's not working? Who needs this job? Like they they want. Some people just they see money, they see dollar signs, and they ask you. But tipping, I do tip. Me personally, I do tip a little more than I should, only because, like I said, I feel bad. You guys work hard just to make, you know, I think a month, average Kenyan makes what, 20K? Is it 20K
around
a,
around
a month?
120 USD in a month. That's so sad.
Listen, in America, dog, 120 USD can't even buy your groceries. So you can't buy no food with that, right? Like that's your phone bill. So knowing that, when I take Uber rides and stuff like that, if it's 200 baht, 300 baht, I just give him 500. You know what I'm saying? If it's 750, 800, I just him 1,000, because now I know that it makes their day. So I want to make people happy too. But on top of that, I know how hard it is for you guys, to try to make the amount of money that you need to make to take care of your family. You know what I'm saying? $120 is not a lot of money, dog. So I just kind of do what I can in that sense of tipping and stuff like that, just to give back until I have my own. I got some plans I want to do after my baby's born and my wife is pregnant. I want to open a school.
Oh.
So until I start giving back that way, I'm tipping. I'm tipping.
Congratulations, bro.
No, I
Congratulations
appreciate it.
for, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
So,
appreciate it. Thank you.
you're doing a great thing for people, and but again, you
I'm
gotta be
trying.
careful, bro. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Not everyone who borrows you money at the street are not good people.
True.
Yeah,
True.
you need to be careful. Actually, I was robbed.
Mm.
Yeah, in my
What?
own country. Yeah, yeah, I was robbed. Do you know how these people rob people? They use a syringe, and they tell you that this syringe got
Mm.
HIV and AIDS, and so when they inject you the syringe, you
Yo.
gotta get the HIV and AIDS. So you gotta give them money that you have. So that's what I'm telling you. You gotta be so vigilant. You gotta be so careful.
Yo, I'm not laughing because it's not funny. That's crazy. You feel me? Like
It's crazy.
I'm just letting you know right now, though. I come from a place called Stewart. It's east of Florida, the East Coast. We call it the Turkey Coast. But I come from a place where we would people would just shoot. Man, I seen somebody get shot over some shoes. You feel me? So we don't play like that in America. You will die. You will definitely lose your life because everybody, especially in Florida, where I come from, we can go buy a weapon or a gun, and no background test or check nothing. You can just go ahead and buy one and take it home. You know. So I've been around a lot of. I'm not proud of it, but I've been around shootouts and stuff like that before I even went to the army and things like that. Crazy stuff happening. Um, Somebody threaten you like that in America, dog, he's dying. Like, there's no if buts about it. He's going to die. That's correct. I feel bad for y'all. I do, man. I do.
So
Y'all.
I had to give him my phone. There were two people. I had to give them my phone and
Yeah.
find my transport. I had to get transport from somewhere else because I use mobile money and I didn't even have 1 cent in my pocket. So I had to get a phone, call somebody home, then to get the fare to get back
Oh
home because
man, I'm
remember
so
all the
sorry.
money was on the phone. So it was a messed up situation. That's why you gotta be careful, bro. You gotta be careful, bro.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm trying to paint my country bad,
No, I
but it's
understand it
just
though,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because what I know, especially with uh, this is what I would personally say. What I know with Kenyans and Nigerians, y'all trying to get money. Y'all trying to make money. Y'all trying to get money, steal money, plant a tree, get like y'all whatever you can, whatever it takes. Y'all trying to make sure y'all have money or to do something for whatever you got going on in your life, and y'all will run through a brick wall to get money if y'all can't get it. So
Yeah.
I do that about y'all, man. Y'all definitely going to go get y'all money.
Yeah, it's I know people gotta survive, but it's
Mhm.
not always a right ways of getting money. So I was just telling you that you gotta be careful because not everyone that you meet, they want something good from you, and
Yeah.
it's always good. And I'll advise you one thing. I don't know where I reside, but I believe that you reside somewhere which is the security is good, right?
Okay. Appreciate it.
That's good because some places you gotta wake up in the morning and find yourself that your house that you living in has been broken into, and you gotta start from zero, bro.
Nah. So luckily where I live at, um, it'll be hard for somebody just to come in and try to break in where I live at. You know, security guards in front.
Yeah.
Um, Cameras are every floor, everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. And security guard by now, or the security guards, excuse me. Pretty sure they kind of know who is residents and who's not residents because a lot of us have the key that has a panel, like a blue panel, to to use the elevator with. And so a lot of the guards, you know what I'm saying, see that we have these things, know who's a who's a tenant and who's not a tenant. So it'd be hard for somebody to break in unless you invite them over.
Yeah.
You know, you a guy, you get a girl over here, and then you wake up, and your shit gone. You know. Other than that, nah, man,
It's crazy.
it is though. No, seriously,
Okay, so let
I'm
me
sorry,
ask you.
bro.
It's okay. It's okay, bro. It's okay. So let me ask you this question.
All right.
What do you think are the challenges or obstacles Black Americans might face when contemplating to move to another country, or the challenges that you experience when you come to Africa? What are the challenges so far so good?
Um, okay. Challenges that one face when coming over here. Language barrier for the American, because um, you guys speak Swahili, and I know you guys in school speak English, so at least y'all have that. At least I can speak a little bit of English,
Yeah.
and I know you guys listen to our rap music over there, in the United States, so y'all can kind of like catch up with us when it comes to English and learning what we saying. So for us coming over here, when you know Americans barely speak English themselves, so you coming over here to speak Swahili, um, you got to learn. Unless, like I said, you have somebody in your life, like I have my wife, but
Yeah.
you got to learn. Um,
Sure.
because not everybody's gonna have that leniency of trying to speak to you in English all the time. They gonna get fed up and want to speak their native tongue because they're tired of it. They're tired.
Yeah, sure.
Um, I think is how can I explain this? Maybe uh, food. Okay, food too. So depending on where you're from, what you're used to, you know, certain things might not go in and come out how they should. You know what I'm saying? You might get sick. You can. It just
Yeah.
depends on what you eat and where you get it from. But usually, going to a restaurant somewhere is fine. But eating out in the street somewhere, like you seeing some fish, somebody grilling fish in the middle, on the side of the street somewhere, you might not want to take that because you're not used to them cooking outside and maybe flies and things around. You're not used to the environment yet, so I advise you not to take that.
I totally
Um,
understand. I totally understand.
let's see. Hospitals, hospitals are not the same like they are in America. I'm not saying you don't have good hospitals. I know you do, but it's because in America we have clinics and hospitals. We got walk-in clinics where you can just walk in, get a tell them what's wrong with you, and they check up and they do what they need to do. Here, you don't got such thing as just a walk-in clinic. So medical access to the things that you're used to. You got to be careful. You're not going to be used to what's here. So understand not to get yourself sick or do certain things where you have to go there because you're not used to it. But um,
Yeah.
I also believe that if you're different, like if you're a foreigner, people are gonna stare at you. It's something that I didn't get used to it. I'm still not used to it. But depending on how I dress, sometimes I dress like an American, I guess, and people will stare. And then some people, I think I'm Nigerian, and they leave me alone. So, um, but be cautious that people will stare at you, look at you. They don't mean no malice behind it. They just really, really curious because some foreigners they maybe never been in contact with. So it's just like a surprise for them.
Yeah.
Um, any other thing?
Have you ever been
Oh,
called a Muslim?
okay. You're gonna get treated differently. A lot of cops, security guards, people like that are gonna ask you for money. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. So be aware of that. People are gonna try to, especially when they find out you're a foreigner, try to get more money out of you. For example, if you get into Uber drive or even Uber ride, and you have your location up, and you know where you're going, and you know where you're going, it only takes 7 minutes. The Uber driver got another place mapped out, so he can take you the long way to get more money out of you. So you got to be wary of that too. Like certain things people are going to do to try to get a few more dollars out of you.
People gonna
Um,
hit.
other than that, that's about it. People here are really friendly. Um, just do your best to try to be humble and People here like to drink, so if you want to, you like to drink, that's how you make friends here. You go out, buy a bottle, take it somewhere, and you have 5 friends in the first 20 minutes. But yeah, other than
Yeah.
that, that's about it. About hardships here, that's about it for me.
Mm. So, people who are watching us, you feel free to ask our guest a question. He's Brandon Jackson. He's from the United States, and this is his 10 month right now in Kenya. And feel free to ask him question. Probably you are in the United States, or probably you are a native, you are an African who is watching this video.
Hmm.
Feel free to ask him any
Yeah,
question or any inquiry that you might want
yeah,
in his experience, his 10-month experience in Kenya.
absolutely. If any um, Africans or foreigners in here, especially for Africans, if y'all have a question of how to make it in America, I have the perfect formula. I promise you. And for me, I don't want people from Africa or people from outside of America to go to America and stay. I want them to go make their money,
Mm-hmm.
establish who's it, residual income, meaning you can wake up and get paid. Like every month you get paid something. So once you do that in Europe or America or Canada, and you get that Western dollar, Western money, and you're good, you keep getting that every month. Leave, don't stay. Leave, come back to your country, go to another country or something, and build up from there. Because living or trying to stay in the West in the West, it kills your pockets. It kills you. It does. It kills you. You just you just feel like I say, you just feel like a modern slave, just getting up, working, and making ends meet. So take that money that you normally be getting, a year, which is whether it be between 40,000 and 60,000, whatever it is that you make. Hopefully, it's residual income. Go to another country, build build something there. Don't do it in the Western countries because you just kill yourself. Seriously.
So, guys, Brandon Jackson will also tell you the name of his channel. He actually just opened a channel, and I think it will be so helpful for our brothers from the diaspora and also
Mm.
maybe Africans who maybe want to go to the United States, just the way he has said. And he has offered a good advice. You don't go to the United States to stay, just go, grind, then come back. Right, brother?
I'm trying to tell you,
So,
because even if you go broke, for example, like say you went to America for 5 years, 6 years, and you getting money, and you're sitting back home, and you made sure that you build a house, you made sure that you did these things. Because if you ever was to go broke, it's easier to live off the land here in Africa than it is to live off the land in America. You know what I'm saying? It's much easier, and there's much more land to even have. So to have the things you want. So it makes no sense to have a farm there when you can have a farm or have what you need here in Africa. Everything's cost less and save more money. And if you don't have no money, it's easier to live off the land here than it is in America for sure.
totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. So, tell them the name of your channel, brother.
Oh, the name of my channel. I just made it today, but it's
It's totally
called
fine.
the Jackson's Archive. It's
Ah,
I think is it all I think I think the space Jackson space Archive.
I think they'll check it, and I'll also talk with my friends. Like you see,
All right.
Fred from Africa, he was in the comment
Mm,
section. He's also a
yeah,
content creator. He was asking, I would like to have you in my channel one day. He's asking you maybe for a collab video or something. He's a content creator.
no problem. Definitely like to talk to him too. Because what you're doing, what he's doing, what a couple of other of Keens are doing is very very special. Uh,
Yeah.
black people in America need to hear this. Need to know that they are welcome. That there's a misconception that Africans don't like black people. There's a misconception about that.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. Um, You can't go off somebody's one, one or two, three people experience, in a country as big as America and deem, we don't like you. That doesn't make sense, So I don't know how we came to be. I don't know how that came to be, but um, what you talking about it, shedding light on it. You guys are doing it special, man, for sure. And it's time, man. It's time for us to not just come back to the motherland, but to come back and do something with y'all instead of being subjected to what's
Exactly.
going on over there, and you also guys being subjected to your own government. Us over there need to come together, and we need, make jobs, create things, and do things because we're brothers and sisters at the end of the day. You know.
That totally makes sense, and I agree with you. You know, you can't just make a conclusion. For example, you from the United States and you coming to Kenya, and maybe you got into a fight with one person, and then when you
Hmm.
go back to the United States, you say that I went to Kenya and Kenyans are not good people, you see. So such kind of information totally brings something to do with hatred amongst us, which is not true. And I believe it's not only in Kenya because you, brother, you've been to the United States. A couple of
Hmm.
times, I believe that you've had fights in the United States, maybe with your friends, with your neighbors, and it's totally human nature. It's not about being Kenyan or being,
Yeah.
being an African American. It's like being a human being that you fight with them daily. You know, um, for example, I'm living with my younger brother in the same room. At
Okay.
some points that we will fight, not like physically fighting, maybe exchange words, and I'll tell him that, I don't like the way you're doing things. So same with an African American who has come to Africa, and it's true that sometimes you want to get along with everyone, that sometimes you will have to, cross paths with people. It's something which is totally happening, and it's human nature, whether you're in the United States or whether you're in Africa, at some point you will cross paths with somebody. And I don't know if you've experienced that, but I believe at some point, even if an African leaves Africa today and goes to the United States, at some point they will cross path with a
Mm.
person, and it's human nature. It's totally okay. So it's not all about Africans are bad people.
Yeah.
Africans told me this.
You know what I think it is, honestly. Um, Americans coming over. Not just Black Americans, just Americans in general. Anywhere we go, we think we're better than wherever the hell we at. You know what I'm saying? We think we just the shit, no matter where we go. But that should have been a mantra for like a long time in America. An American go somewhere and they just act like they're better than whoever they're around because the country is so great. It's not, but whatever. But I think that's what it is, man. People, like I said earlier, not being humble, going to a different situation, and applying their country to the situation that no, you can't go to Tanzania, you can't go to Kenya, you can't go to South America, Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal. You can't go thinking that, oh, I'm an American, I can do American things, I can dress American, I can do this, do that, when a whole nother country that go about a whole different set of values and rules. You know, so
Exactly.
I think that's the formula of why things like that come to pass, and it's usually because of us, not y'all.
I see your point, brother.
Yeah.
So, I normally say this. When you go to a new place, you'd find those people that it's normal. They'll just hate you for no reason, you know. And at the same time, you'll find people who will also love you. So it's
Hmm.
upon you to choose which side of energy do you want to put in your life. Do you want to
True.
concentrate on people who hate you, or do you want to concentrate on people who love you? And I think most of the people normally tend to look at the negative side instead of looking the positive sides. For
Mm.
instance, you've gone to a gym, for example, and you let me not use an example for a gym. You've gone to a restaurant, and then
Okay.
this person who the customer service, they're not giving a good customer service. And so you can't go and say that I went to a given restaurant and they never did this to me. And for instance,
Exactly.
you only went to one restaurant, but You went to other five restaurants and they treated you well. They treated you like a queen, like a king. Sorry,
Hmm.
but you go outside there saying that I went to a restaurant in Kenya. The service was so shitty. Instead of looking the three positive ones. So you
Yeah,
see, and that's the problem. That's why I normally say that look at which energy you want to drive yourself in. Do you want the negative energy or do you want the positive energy? Because it's so
exactly.
funny. It's so funny how you tend to choose one thing which is negative and leave three which are positive.
Yeah, I don't. That it makes no sense. Makes no
Yeah.
sense. I believe you asked me a question earlier, but I don't know if I answered it. It was.
I was
I think
asking,
it was
what do you
about
think the
who?
challenges, the challenges or the obstacles, of which I think you talked about them.
Yeah, no, it's something to do with women. I think
Oh
you were
yeah, yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
I think you said something about why are the women mad that we're leaving or something like that. I think that's what it was.
Exactly. I
I
also
think.
did a video on that, by the way.
Okay, so how can I? Let me be fair in what I'm about to say.
Okay.
So women are mad that men are leaving because they're selfish. I'm gonna tell you why. And listen to this. Have you ever heard of white women calling their white men broke, busted, or leftovers, or passport bros? And when they've been down here doing this for years, leaving their country, going to other countries, and being with the women there, you never heard of that. It didn't start until black people started doing it. So that being the case, our sisters got to learn how to stop being so bitter and so angry and masculine. That's what it's coming from. A lot of the guys are leaving because women in America are masculine. You know, nobody. You said it earlier. No man wants an independent woman when the man's sole job since the beginning of time is to provide for his family. When you're
Exactly.
doing it as a woman, no man wants no part of that. You know, because it diminishes our value in the role that what we play and what we was made for. Um, so that core value of what I just said is why men are apt, especially black men, are leaving because of what I just said. Um, has nothing to do with how they look, how they smell, how they dress, what they eat, nothing like that. It's because of their attitude and what society is now pushed on the West, Europe, you know, a little bit of Asia, whatever, in America, these places, women who think they in control. You can be in control by yourself. You know what I'm saying? But that's the biggest reason for sure. And that's why men are they in America they're not dating no more or they're just leaving the country.
I'll like to raise a point which I think it's
Mm,
important. Having done a couple of research, during to the capitalism which is so dominant in the United States, and the man's money or the finances which belongs to the man can't suffice things which are happening in the house. So you find that in American households, women also have to chip in. They have to go get some job to do so that they can come and they call it they're going 50-50, right?
yes,
And so you see, it is by nature for a man to provide. That's
absolutely.
that's that's the manhood. So when providing, you show that you have the authority because you are
Hmm.
the provider of the house. And even when God created Adam, he gave them the mandates to take care of the family, and
Yeah,
that's
man.
what God created man to be. But when we have changes in the social structures, like from a person who is being up brought in the United States is different
Mhm.
with a person who has been is upbringing in Africa. So while you find in the United States, there is high cost of living, and women have to chip in, men also have to chip in so that they can pay the
Yeah.
bills of the house. So
Yeah.
you realize that that respect that they have for men, it diminishes because people say, bro,
You-
like
you-
I'm providing.
Yeah. You raised a good point. That's a really good point. I'll say the way to fix it. The way to fix it is personally how I met my wife. I went to God, bro. I got on my knees and prayed because I wanted a wife. I didn't want to keep going person to person, girl to girl. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That wears you out, man, and you want to give up eventually after the 30th female, 40th female, you know what I'm saying? You want to be done.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of those guys who just want to do that, but I'm not. I wasn't raised like that. So, um, but go to God, make sure God guides you to find a partner because I know for sure humans, we make nothing but mistakes. So we can't even choose for ourselves. That's why I went, just why I prayed and actually ended up with her. Another thing too is that the man should have enough money to make sure that his wife don't even have to work. And if she wants to work, it's a hobby or something on the side that she likes doing, not an actual 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
Something that she
ah.
can actually like doing because she still needs to be a wife. You know what I'm saying? So that dynamic of her being masculine is gone because the man's still taking everything. She's still in the house, but she can still do her TikTok, her Instagram, her or
Yeah.
whatever it is. You know, business wise, she can still kind of like do some business things at home. She don't got to go work with other men around her all the time while you working around other women all the time. You know, things like that can, you know, cause issues in the household and um especially now a woman working just as much as you thinking she's a man and that since she pay half of this or half of that or whatever because I have to because the money that you have to pay to live in America it's not right, you know, it's not right, it's not. So um I just believe personally a woman shouldn't have to work a 9 to 5. She should be able to do something she like doing on the side, make money for it while still being a wife and a husband doing his thing, taking care of paying for the things, the house utilities, make sure
Exactly.
school fees, and things.
You've raised a good point, bro. And sometimes if I could use your words, let me just be
Hmm.
fair on my side. Um, Sometimes we might say that African American women, they got the attitude, and everything. But again, if you try to look at it deeply, you'll realize that it is the society in which um, we have been brought. So as same as the point which I was making before, we
Hmm.
live in a society where there is no balance between what a man can do and a woman can do. And you see, I'm not saying that what men can do, women can't do. Of course, they can, but see this context. You having a family and both of you are working. You see,
Hmm.
a woman doesn't have the time to become the woman because he is performing the roles of a man, and also the man is going to look for money. So when they come to a house, you can
Mm.
ask yourself, who is having the authority? Because both of us are providing, and man's power is in provision. But if a woman can get that provision by herself, then I think that's where the problem starts. That's why I think the attitude, that you people complaining about. That's where people say that they can't just listen. They ain't feminine. They are masculine, because if they see that they can provide and the man can provide, and unfortunately, they being paid even more than the man. I think
Yeah.
that's where the problem is. And so put my I put my blame to the society in which they are raised. And
Yes.
I'll really pray if our brothers and sisters, maybe if they have a person that they really love, they could come with them to Africa, so that she can find that time to do those TikTok things, just have fun, and the amount that you have can suffice everything which is happening to you.
Yeah.
The way you were saying before.
I agree. I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I I want to ask you something. I'm not like I said. I'm not trying to be. Uh, I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to be nothing like that. But how do you feel about when you see? Because I know how I feel. But how do you feel when you see a young Kenyan girl around the ages of between the ages of 18 and 22, somewhere around there, with an old white guy, like 50 plus, 60 plus? He like, no, seriously, like, let's I don't, I don't get it, bro. I mean, I get it, but I
See,
don't. Like, for the girl, I know it's for the money, mostly. And for the white man, bro, you live 3 lifetimes longer than her. Like, what are we doing? what, you couldn't find a woman that's 40, 30 plus? She got to be 22 and you 60? Like, I mean, good. I'm glad you got the money to do whatever you want to do. But go get a little white girl like that, bro. Why you got to come to a whole foreign country and do that? You know what I'm saying? But they've been doing it for years. They've been doing it for years, years and years and years. I just the reason why I asked that is because not too long ago, um, I'm walking with my wife and I seen a couple, younger black Kenyan woman and an older white male, and she was like looking at me and my wife like fire her eyes, like, where'd you find this nigga at? I didn't see him on the website, like, like I just that her eyes was just like on my wife, looking at me and her, and just like just mad, like kind of upset, and kind of feel bad. I want more Black Americans to come out here and to show all of show some of the kings and stuff like that, and great king women that we're not all rappers. We want to get married too. We want to have a family. We not because my wife thought that I was selling drugs. She thought I was into rapping. She thought I was into all types of stuff because of what they portray to us in America. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Gangs, shooting, smoking weed, doing all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, um, now all of us, trust me, I know there's only 12% of us in America, but now all of us is like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's good that you're addressing this, bro, because you see,
Mm.
what most of us see in the movies, like it's not the true depiction of every man
Yeah,
in
it's
the
not.
in the United States. You know, leaves Africa and they go to work in the United States, but you realize that the parents will tell her that, no, I just want you to go to work, but don't get married in the United
Oh,
States, please. Come back to Africa, get an African man. You know, that's what they're being told. Come to Africa, get an African man,
yeah.
get married, because they believe that when you go to and get a man from the United States, they do drugs, you know, they in the trap life, you know what I'm saying, and this stereotype
Yeah.
is it's so messed up. So when you come to
Oh, okay. Back. It
I
went
think
black
I
for a
lost.
second. Okay. But you were saying about the relationships between African American man and woman and African man and woman. Is that what you were saying? The relationship.
Yeah, yeah, I was saying, um, I'll just start again. So
Mm,
when a lady, an African lady, leaves Africa to go to the United States,
mm-hmm.
the mother will tell them, my girl, I just want you to go to the United States, do the work, then come get married in back in Africa. I don't want you to get married to those people because
Yeah.
what the media depict about African American men or Black American men, they do drugs. Um, Most of them got dreadlocks. Um, they, they have guns. They are in gangs. And this depiction is not real because I do believe that in a given society, not everyone conform to some types of behavior. We have people
Exactly.
who are raised in good families, raised in families where people are religious, so their parents won't allow them to do such kind of things.
I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to tell you, for a lot of us, um, I would say that lifestyle. You know, I have an older brother who in that lifestyle. I have cousins who, you know, same thing. But I think it's first of all, yes, it's your family, but also your environment and what you're born in. A lot of us in America, black, are born in places where they had black people living there in ghettos and stuff like that. That's what they called it, and they made those things for us and put us there. So when we grow up, we liquor store, gun store, gangs are all in the same vicinity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you have almost like no choice to either make it out. Make it out meaning you get a job somewhere else, or you find a way and leave that area, or you join a gang and you become part of another statistic. You know what I'm saying? So the options for us is kind of like it's slimmer for white people. White people are minority. I mean majority, but the ethnic groups like the minorities like us, Asian, Spanish, stuff like that, we all live in our own kind of like communities or kind of like places to where like what I said becomes fruition, gangs and violence because we in the beginning when we was put there in the beginning of America we was put in places like that to live, and that's how we what I'm saying grew up in the same places that we went after slavery. So some of those places, like I said, were meant for us to be there, and racism and things like that played a big part because they want us to be in one section so they can control how we live and what we do and stuff like that. And so, yeah, man, it's America's a big setup, and there's a big lie saying it's freedom. You ain't free when you get there. You realize real soon. You realize real soon, like, yeah, you can make as much money as you want there, but it comes at a price, you know.
Mm,
So
yeah, I get you. I get you. I get you. And
yeah, man,
you did the right thing to live the toxic life in the United States, which people are living.
appreciate it.
And man, it's good. So I'd like to ask you this question. Um,
Okay.
how can engaging with the global community or living in a different culture setting potentially contribute to the personal or collective growth?
Oh, say that last part one more time.
Since you came to Kenya,
Hmm.
do you have a community? Is
Oh, like a
are there a group of friends of you who you are with them right here in Kenya?
I made some. Okay, so I did meet another guy who's from England. His name's Tim. He kind of put me on the diaspora and stuff like that. Because honestly, bro, I didn't know about diaspora until I got here. Diaspora. I didn't know about that stuff till I actually got here. So, he put me on. He made a group of contacts of people in my WhatsApp that some other Americans and stuff like that. And I think one or two of them are natives, but everybody else is pretty much foreigners. Um,
Mm,
so I guess that would be what you're talking about. And also when I got here, made some Nigerian friends because I look just like them. uh, so I made friends with them, and that's pretty much what I got going on is a social life as far as that.
Yeah. Uh, I, I don't know if you've seen because I also have seen a group of people like you. Do you know USA Meets Kenya?
Who?
USA Meets Kenya is a guy. They are couples and they also have the YouTube channel.
Oh,
Yeah, they call themselves USA Meets Kenya. Yeah, they are couples just like you, a lady
okay,
from
okay,
Kenya also. So maybe if you can find time, you can find time connect with them and it's I don't know if you saw the message that I sent you.
mm,
We have depending on where you reside. I don't know if you can reach to Kenya National Theatre. I don't know if you know. It's in town somewhere around Nairobi CBD.
okay, huh?
Yeah, that
I'm
place that place will give you a group of people,
okay,
African Americans, content creators who also got there to do some interviews. So it will be a good spot for you to find people who are like-minded like you, African Americans who are in Kenya. You'll find them there, and it
all right,
normally happens on Thursdays. Yeah, it's on Thursdays that people meet there. So maybe someday when you get time, go visit there, and
okay,
you'll find a lot of people that you are like-minded with. And so, what was I saying? I was saying that it's always good to find people at least that you resonate with.
absolutely.
Like for example, African Americans who are also in Africa.
Hmm.
They can tell you one to three. They can tell you, don't do this, don't go there. Just instead of just living in a place blindly. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
but thank you for that. I thank you for the information. I'm going to use that because obviously networking and connecting is vastly really really important. One of the most important things you can do when it
Yeah.
comes to just life in general. So I'm gonna go with that link you sent me. I'm definitely gonna go and find out one of these days where I can just go and you said Thursdays, right? Thursdays when they get together. Okay, so I'm gonna go make sure I do that. 10:30. Oh, say that again. I'm sorry. Oh Lord, help me. Oh, bro, you still here? I know. He's not even still here. I don't think. I don't know what happened to him. Huh? Yeah, I ain't get. I ain't get that. Yeah, I didn't. Hey, babe, you bring my charger? Thank you. Thank you for the information. Appreciate it. I c- my bro. Oh, there he go.
I don't know. It was it. I don't know what was it, network or something, because it just went off all of a sudden.
I don't know. I was waiting on you. I was like, what happened? I don't know. I thought you had left, but I didn't hear your question. My wife came and told me what you said. You said I have do I know US meets Kenya? And I do
Yeah.
know them. That's Keith and Faith. I do know them personally. I know I met Keith a couple times since being here in Nairobi. So yeah, I know who they are. Yeah. Oh man, did it happen again? Whew.
I don't know what is it. Is it my network?
I think so because I'm not going away. I'm not cutting off. So I think it could be yours.
Or no, because it keeps on falling. It keeps
Mm.
on falling every now and then. So
Yeah, Keith and Faith. Yeah, you was saying, you was telling me uh, who they were, and I didn't know their name. I didn't know the account name, but I do know Keith and Faith personally. Yeah.
Brandon, Brandon.
I can hear you a little bit.
I can
What's
hear
up?
you a little bit. What's up? Or like I was saying, there's somebody in the Kate and Faith. Maybe she
Yeah,
knows.
yeah. That's my wife being nosy. Yeah, that's her. That's my wife being nosy. She let me know that Keith and Faith, and yeah, we do know them.
I think that 50 Cent, 50
It just said is on hate it or love it. Oh, hate it or love it. All right. Yeah, I know that saying. Hate it or love it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
So I think my network is somehow disturbing, and I mean, and also salute to all my viewers who
yes, sir. I will. Thanks, bro. Thanks just for allowing me to meet you and just to speak with you a little bit. I know errors here and there, but it's all good. We can always do this again. Um, Thank you for subscribing to the channel that we just made too. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you for everything. So since you got my back, I be sure to have yours. Oh, did you catch what I said just now?
so like I was saying before,
Yeah.
no, I don't know. She's a lawyer from Western or something, because we have lawyers from this place around Kisumu. When you also have lawyers who are located on the western part of
Hmm.
Kenya. So if she is located like a native home is western part of Kenya, we probably are neighbors because we do share market in a place called Bumala, and it's also close to my grandma. So
Okay.
greet her and tell her that I've greeted her and congratulations, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for
congratulations. Oh,
uh
is she the one called Emma Nanyokia?
yeah, that's my wife. Yeah, that's my wife. She being nosy.
Oh, okay.
It's all good though. But
Probably watching, right?
yeah, she watching. uh
Right now.
no, she is, trust me. She is. I want to say thank you, bro, for the interview. Thank you for um being our first subscriber to our channel and stuff like that. We just made. Um, if you have, if you want any updates of what I got going on in my life soon later, or you just want to have another talk or live stream or whatever, bro, I'm always open.
Okay, cool, bro. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Actually, I never told you this is my first live, and
Hey, man, absolutely, anytime, dog, anytime. So we in the same boat. We in the same boat. First time for everything.
so
Right
thank you so much. I highly appreciate.
sir. Yeah, anytime, bro. Anytime.
Okay, do have a good night wherever you are, bro.
You say what?
Do have a good night wherever you are, bro.
Oh, thank you, thank you. You too, bro. You too. Thank you. All right, bro. Have a good night and have a good rest of the weekend.
Okay, you too, bro.
All right, bro.